Hello everyone, Will the Outlaw here, and today we are going to be taking a look at Transformers Studio Series 86 Springer. Saying this figure is a controversial release is kind of an understatement, as most look at this as a simple re-release of the original Voyager figure with extra accessories to bump it up to leader class. It's somewhat of a valid criticism, as Hasbro has bumped up figures to higher price points, with figures like Siege Astro Train, Shockwave, and most infamously Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. Does this figure deserve that kind of criticism? Well, let's take a look and find out. Looking at the figure itself, and at first glance, it's almost one for one with the original Siege figure. On closer inspection, however, the differences are many and obvious. Almost every part on this figure is a new piece. The shoulders, the arms, and even the torso are all different, and give this version a bigger, more screen-accurate look. The most obvious carryover from the original are the lower leg pieces. Those seem to be unchanged. The colors and paint apps are less saturated and more screen-accurate. That was one of my biggest concerns with the original, and I'm glad they gave him the proper deco on this one. The head sculpt is probably my favorite of all the Springer molds I have. I feel it's the best representation of the on-screen look we've seen in the mainline release, and with the new coloring, the details are way more noticeable in this one. The articulation on this guy is pretty much the exact same as the Siege version. Ball-jointed head, shoulders that go up, down, in and out, more than 90 elbows, bicep swivel, wrist swivel, articulated fingers, waist swivel, hips that go forward, back, in and out, thigh cut, more than 90 knees, and foot articulation with an ankle tilt. This guy is big and heavy with nice tight joints, so posing him is fun, and he looks great no matter what position he is in. As I've said before, this guy is pretty much one for one with the original Voyager. What pushes him to the leader price point is his abundance of accessories. He comes with his original 2 guns, as well as a larger screen-accurate rifle, a sword that he used in the movie, a wrecker's hammer, and a broadsword that turns into his helicopter mode blades. He also comes with a mortar shell that he had in one scene in the movie, and I don't know what to do with it. It doesn't really fit in his hands or anywhere else really. I mean, I know it was in the movie, but this thing doesn't really do anything other than up the parts count. I appreciate the effort, but this set would have been fine without it. Another appreciated yet mostly useless feature is the wrist gun that pops out of his right forearm. I get what they're going with this, but it's too small to be of any use, and it's too small to fit any blast effects also. Of all the Autobot triple changers, Springer is by far the most popular and most well represented. This figure definitely does a great job of carrying that torch. Springer's transformation to vehicle mode is mostly the same as his Voyager counterpart. Save for a few steps in the chest, there is virtually no change in the transformation scheme. I am in utter awe of this car mode. This is one of the main reasons I convinced myself to upgrade to this version. This is by far the best representation of Springer's car mode that Hasbro has ever put out, and I love this. Honestly, the only downside that I can even think of is that they took out the ports on the fender of the car. You could still put the guns on the car, but they still look better on the Siege version. Transformation to helicopter mode is just as involved and just as fun as it ever was. By far the best part is the upgraded helicopter blades. They are thick and way more solid than the previous version. I've always been a fan of Springer's helicopter mode, and I really like the Siege helicopter mode. That being said, the Studio Series just feels more solid and has the added advantage of being far more screen accurate. As I said before though, the only flaw is that you can't put the guns on the front like this. Whenever I think of the original 86 movie, Springer is one of the bots that immediately come to my mind. That was really the main factor why I picked this figure up. It was important to me that I get a screen accurate Springer, and this figure definitely scratches that itch. While I get the hesitation considering this is viewed as a Voyager, the tooling, new parts, and added weight this figure has does justify the leader price point in my opinion. All in all, this is a great figure and an awesome addition to your movie shelf. That being said, if you have the Siege version, this one doesn't really do anything different other than being more screen accurate and a more solid figure. Bottom line, if you're a stickler for accuracy like I am, then this figure is definitely worth a pickup. If not, then the Siege version is more than efficient. I know the leader price point is a hard pill to swallow, so I wouldn't fault you if you felt the need to wait for a lower price sale later on down the road. Well, that was my look at Studio Series 86 Springer. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon.
Laters!